What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Robots in Disguise Menasor set. In the middle we have Motormaster, yellow drag strip, blue windbreak, slash mark, and heat seeker. Or is it heat seeker and slash mark? Whatever. They all look the same. Literally. I mean, each of the limbs look exactly the same. So these figures are actually pretty darn small, and let's grab a... Well, here's Rumble from Titans Returns, and here is one of the limbs, windbreak, as you can see, kind of small, though it is in line with the other Combiner Force figures, or 2-pack sets, so there is that. Now, the transformation for each one of these figures is very, very simple. We're going to start off by taking a look at the legs of Menasor, and these two guys are modeled after what I'm assuming are customized Jeeps, or obviously SUVs. They are the exact same external figure with different paint. Transformation for both is very simple. Stand them up, flip out the arms. That's it. There is nothing else to the transformation into robot mode. Stand it up, flip out the arms, and we're done. As I said, each figure is roughly the same. There are some slight mold differences there on the gray at the abdomen, and then the head and chests are a little bit different, not much. The heads they're okay. At least the eyes are painted, so I have to give them, or Hasbro, that. Next up are drag strip and windbreak, and again, they are the exact same vehicle mode on the outside. There is nothing different about these figures. They are identical. Transformation is equally very simple. Grab the figure, come to the front of the vehicle mode, flip up the hood, stand the figure up, and pull out the arms, and that's the transformation into robot mode for each one of these guys. Again, each one is virtually identical except for paint and head sculpts. They're all right. They're a little bit better than the other two. I think the head sculpts are fine. Motormaster is obviously the biggest one here with, well, modeled in Motormaster gray, and he's got purple on the side. He is a big rig. Unfortunately, my luck for quality control strikes again because my set came missing a wheel. Oh well, not that big a deal actually. Otherwise, the figure's fine. It is the biggest of them all. The figure set also comes with this giant sword, wieldable in robot mode, not so much in any of the vehicle modes or smaller modes. Size-wise, he is bigger than Rumble, but definitely smaller than Deluxe. Motormaster's transformation is a little bit more complex than the other guys. To start off with, come to the front, reach your finger in here and flip up the head, unpeg the bottom of the vehicle mode wheels from the back, and fold them down to form the hips. Turn the end of the vehicle mode into lower legs and flip out some feet. It's actually a little bit harder to do than you might think. And stand them up. Then reach behind the head and unfold the shoulders and flip them forward and peg them into place. And fold down the arms. Now, Motormaster suffers from no real hand syndrome. He has no real hands. He is mostly gray, a little black, and then his chest is black and shoulders are purple. The head sculpt is quite good. I actually like the head sculpt a lot. I think that is a very, very cool head sculpt. And you will see it as soon as my camera focuses. I really do like that head sculpt. Unfortunately, the rest of the figure is, just like all the others, kind of worthless because he can't pose at all. The only posability you get is a swivel at the knees. That's it. Oh, and I'm sorry, the legs do move outwards towards the sides of the figure, but there is no forward or back articulation. And again, as I said, no real hands, and he can't move his arms at all. He can't move his arms forward. There are no swivels or hinges just for this mode. Thankfully, though, based on what we had gotten earlier in the year, or pictures we had gotten earlier in the year, they were mistransformed because the giant robot, or I should say Menasor head gimmick, is kind of neat, actually. You see that grill? Well, push it, and Menasor's head pops up. Very easy to do that when transforming the figure, just a heads up. And now for the merge sequence. We'll put Motormaster off to the side, come to the SUVs first, transform them back into vehicle mode, which is very easy. Grab the front and the rear tires and pull the rear of the vehicle mode up over the front of the vehicle mode and replace the tire that you accidentally pop off. Then come to the feet of the robot mode and flip that out and around to the top of the back of the vehicle mode. Do that for the other vehicle, and they will snap into place. Flip that out and forward, and we have formed the legs. That's it for the legs. Move them off to the side. First, start off in robot mode and flip the entire front legs and shins down to form the hands. Grab the head and flip that entire section down, and then extend the back of the vehicle mode and collapse the robot arms. And congratulations, you have formed an arm. Now on drag strip, do the same thing. Flip out the giant combiner arm, flip down the head and chest, and slide the entire back of the vehicle mode out, and we're done. We can then flip out the thumbs, which are gray for some reason. Now for Motormaster, who is very, very easy. Deploy Menasor's head. Flip up the toes, grab the arms, and flip them out. And that will push down these combiner ports, so we can flip those combiner ports out. And the combiner ports, you would think would be or have molded hands onto them. They don't. Take the entire lower arm, flip it up over the shoulder, way over the shoulder, and then collapse it down to peg into the sections just on the other side of the Motormaster head. And that's it. Now, for combining Menasor, take a leg, and these are using the same exact combiner ports that the other Combiner Force figures use. And I actually like to turn it around for this. Just line them up and snap them into place. And do that on both legs. Haha. And get that posed decently so it can, stand and all. Oop, didn't have that all the way on. And then we come up to the arms. And I think drag strip actually goes on this arm. And then just get everything lined up. Slide them into place. And we are done. Menasor combined looks pretty darn good, though severely lacking in paint. And let's face it, he definitely isn't going to look like he is in the show. In fact, I don't even know if he's shown up in the show yet. Head sculpt for Menasor is quite good. Unfortunately, you cannot pose it at all. He does have limited posability, specifically in the arms. So arms move backwards and forwards. Legs move in and out. There is ankle articulation, a little bit at least. The sword can be stored on the back of the figure. Simply turn it around, and there are peg holes there that fit those pegs. So you can actually dual wield swords if you have two swords. So there's that. You can also hold the sword in robot mode, which is pretty easy. Put the thumb down. Whoop. And then grab the sword and flip it around the hand, peg it into place. And here we have Menasor holding his sword, which the sword is really cool. I actually like the sword a lot, though I'm not entirely sure why it has a hinge. So there's that. I have double and triple checked the directions to see if there is a way to store the sword in this mode. Sadly, there is not, or there is nothing listed. Now, how does this figure go size-wise with, Combiner Wars? It is literally half the size of Superion. I would show you Menasor, or I would do Menasor here. I would put Menasor here, but the version of Menasor that I have is the one with that special add-on, so it doesn't exactly work well for this. So, Titans Returns, Soundwave. Soundwave is bigger. So this set is roughly the size of a Titans Returns Voyager class figure. Now remember earlier when I said that the combiner ports on Menasor are exactly the same as the other Combiner Force figures? We can have some fun with that. So as you can see, the abomination that we end up with is itching for a fight. And I would have loved if there was a little bit more posability as just being able to turn these bits around 360 degrees. Yeah, you can have some fun with this, but what you end up with is actually kind of terrifying. Be afraid. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what to think of Menasor. I actually do like this set. I think it's nifty. I think it's different, and that's always good. But there are flaws. I don't think the construction is very good. I think the design overall is lacking, especially for the price tag. And it's not the most fun I think it could be. Now, at this size, I'm not totally sure what else they could do. It definitely makes me think of Machine Robo Rescue, where you have very simple transformations for bots that merge into one figure. But they also have a lot more paint and a lot more character than what we have here. Take Shuttle Robo, for example. Yeah, the little shuttle flying guys aren't that complex, but they all can be used in all the limb modes, and the center figure is well painted, well articulated, and has a lot more character than I think Motormaster does. But that just might be, the past and my own remembering of the figure, as opposed to what we have here. I honestly get what Hasbro is doing. I just don't think they quite nailed it. It's close, don't get me wrong. I think there's some really great ideas here, but I don't think they totally nailed it. Now, I do have Ultra B coming. That's the Bumblebee. Well, that's all of the main Autobots combining into one figure. It is on its way, so I will be reviewing that as well. So gang, I hope you have enjoyed this video review. As always, I am Baltmatrix. I ask you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.